Hey everyone, it's Lisa Davis from Lisa Davis Body Construction. Today's comparison video is going to be a little different from ones I've done in the past because I'm going to compare Dope Ropes PVC jump ropes with Dope Ropes PVC jump ropes. If you know any of my videos or know me at all, I jump rope a lot, and I have been using Dope Ropes PVC ropes as my go-to ropes for many years, probably 10 plus years since I found them. And I have loved them. I buy them. I don't think they're very expensive, so I think they're great quality. I think they're consistent, one rope to the next over the years. So I had a bunch of them. I started with 4mm PVCs, and I have changed to my favorite being the 5. And now I even use the 6mm a lot. I live in a climate that can get really cold in the winter for extended periods, for months, be really cold below freezing, and where it can get over 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. So it can get really hot for extended periods. And I've never had any problems with my ropes breaking or anything like that. They've just lasted really well. So this last winter, we had a more mild winter. It was probably 7 to 10 degrees warmer than usual in the winter, which was nice for me because I like it warm. But it was still below freezing at times, and I keep my ropes in the garage. So, I mean, it does have a heater and everything, but it's not as warm as the house. And I lost a couple of my 5mm ropes. They broke by the handle. And so, you know, even though they don't cost very much, I thought for fun I would compare with just another PVC rope that claimed it had all the same features. But suffice it to say, it did not do well. Only lasted a couple weeks and broke really quickly. I'll insert that review in the description below. I emailed Dope Ropes and I asked them if they've changed manufacturers, if it was just because it was cold or, you know, whatever. They did answer very quickly. I was so impressed with their customer service. And they said they should not be stored in a cold place, even though I haven't had problems in the past. I was not surprised that was why they could be breaking. They did say that they have changed manufacturers, but that was clear back in 2020. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but they went ahead and sent me a few to compare with. This is a 5mm. They sent me 5mm since that's my favorite. And I'm just going to be comparing Dope Ropes with Dope Ropes for this video. Okay, so since I'm going to compare apples with apples, I'm going to use my 5mm. Here's the length I like. I like the rope itself without the handles to come to my waist. I'll insert a video below where I show how I like to size my ropes. We know we don't want the handles to be out to the side. If the rope's too long, we won't have control of our rope and it won't be a good workout. And we'll get frustrated really fast. If I were to jump rope with this way long rope, it wouldn't work out too well. So, easy to do. I'm going to pull down this collar and slide the plug to wherever I want it. And I'll trim these off later. And I always leave quite a bit of extra anyway, even when I cut them off, because sometimes I guess too short and I want to make them longer again. Sometimes I just use my existing rope to compare against. I think I guessed right on the dot there. Okay. So I'll go ahead and use both of my ropes for an extended period of time. I'll video pieces and bits here and there, and I'll come back and tell you if I feel like the new Dope Ropes is just as good as the old Dope Ropes. Day 2 of using both ropes against each other. So far I can't tell any difference between one or the other than the color. I tried to really give these ropes a good run for their money. And I already jump rope a lot, so any rope I use is going to get a good test. But we really had some serious ups and downs with the temperatures this year. It was in April, so we were camping, we were doing all sorts of things because the weather would be really warm in the upper 80s. But then it would go down really low, and we'd have lows in the 20s. And people lost fruit off their trees. I know people who they have orchards and they lost everything. So it was just super cold. And anyway, good test for the jump ropes though. When I opened up those extra ropes, the black one felt a little more rigid to me than the others. And so that's the one I used the most because I wanted it to fail. If it was going to fail, I wanted it to do it while I was in the test period so that I could let you guys know the truth about them. But after about a week, I also included the blue one because previous to this, when things were breaking and when I emailed Dope Ropes, the ones that I had been using a lot were the blue color. So they asked me if there was a specific color that seemed to be a bigger problem. And since I'd been using those and they'd been failing, that's what I told them. So I pulled that one out too. I opened my video on April 7th. Today's April 28th, so it's been 3 weeks. And the weather has been up and down. It's been in the mid to upper 80s at times, and it's been down for highs in the mid 40s for days, and it'll just fluctuate up and down and up and down. Again, I do have heaters in my garage, and it's insulated. My door's insulated, everything's insulated, and I heat up the garage for a couple hours before I work out. And I've been keeping the jump ropes in my house overnight. So I'm following the recommendations from Dope Ropes. That said, I've mostly been using the black one because I felt like it was the most rigid coming out of the bag, and I wanted to catch it. If it was going to break with all of these ups and downs in temperature, I wanted to catch it before I closed out the video and said, hey, it's lasting, and then have it break the next day. So I have been mainly using this one. And just for reference, I jump rope every day, usually for a warm-up before I lift weights, for sure. But also some days I just only jump rope for over an hour. So they're getting heavily used. And so I noticed on, I think it was Saturday, it seemed like where the rope rubs, it was just getting a little line. And I don't know if it's a crack, but yeah, it is a crack for sure. I'll see if it focuses on it. So it's definitely got a little crack. Let's see if that focuses. Can you see the little crack? And I noticed it on both sides. So it's probably on its way out. Sometimes I try to, if I notice something like that, I'll move the stopper a little so it's not hitting in that same place. But all of that said, I still like these better than other ones I've tried. I don't feel like they're lasting as long as they used to still. But I don't know, I love them. And I do know that they will last longer in the summer once it's warm. So just keep all of that in mind. I'm going to have links below for these, but I also have several other kinds of jump ropes that I'm going to be testing and comparing to these. And I've got some Hero ropes. I got 2 or 3 other brands that I'm going to try their PVC, the 5mm PVC, and 6mm PVCs. So look for those videos coming up. This is my 6mm from Dope Ropes, and I've had this a really long time, and it's very flexible. I keep it together with these, and no, I have never noticed a line or a crack. I use this one less often than the 5mm, but I do use it a lot. And I have some 6mm in those other brands too. So I'm going to compare those with this one. And anyway, just look for those videos here in the future if you're looking to buy a good jump rope. And again, I still prefer these. I have some from other brands. They're too rigid. I don't like them. Even ones I thought I liked coming out of the bag, and I ended up not liking them. And they lasted less time than this too. So I'll see you soon in the next one.